I'm starting with no neutrality. That gives me 0 neutrality, so I can actually start wars. And the next thing I do is we went to 0 neutrality, and after that I'm going to war against Nazi Germany. We go for conquer option. Now we will be able to enact a few other wars. As you can see, the Nazis, after declaring war on Poland, initially started the attack. And we go for more national decisions. That is gearing up for war and the Day of Infamy. After that, I'm going to pass all these laws that we so much need. We're going to censor the press, and that's it. Now the country is soon to be ready for war. Great. The next thing we do, we're gonna build these babies right there. We're gonna build a lot of these, as you can see. The next thing we'll probably need some more transports. They are reasonably cheap. I'm gonna build extra 20 of these, just so the things would go a little bit faster. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to give these guys a new general. They will carry our troops all over the place. Then I'm going to separate this force and send them straight to Europe. They will shield our landings. But before I can do that, I have to join the Allies, of course. That is very important. Okay, now I can send the troops to England. Rebase them there. And I'll have to send all these troops to France immediately. From here, we are going to station ourselves close to the Belgian border, and after a while we are going to attack Belgium and Netherlands, so that we could have a proper front line with Nazi Germany. As you can see, the Nazis are obliterating Poland and its troops. They took more than 50% now, and the Polish army couldn't even stop the Nazis for long. Look at this armored corps spearhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisions that are motorized in one way or another in the center, and this is our front line right there. We can choose to position ourselves in the south, close to the Italian border, strike Italy. The Nazis will come from the Alps, or close to the Alps to support them. We would probably be able to breach into the northern Italy, maybe even go down to Paris and more. However, I believe that on a two-front war with limited supplies from the France and these ports, we may not be able to efficiently fight the combined force of fascists and Nazis, and we would be drawn back multiple times back to France from this massive spearhead, and eventually this could drag out for 3 years, and maybe the war would end there with us being unable to accomplish and losing millions or many hundreds of thousands of soldiers in the process of trying to defeat them. For this reason, I'm going to position my troops close to the Belgian border, maybe some troops right there in the Maginot Line, but I don't think that we truly need these, because the French, I do trust in one thing, that the French will be able to hold the Maginot Line, because it's a fortified marvel, so to speak. It's incredible. It's like flying to space. That's how well fortified and military modernized this place is, and state of the art pillboxes, artillery, front lines, and fences and whatnot. But in here we can have a full-blown attack on the Nazis, and this is what I'm hoping for. Let's assume that the Belgians and the Netherlands are naturally more fascist and Nazi pro than they would be otherwise, and with this kind of a way of viewing the world, we're gonna just be firm, and we're just gonna attack them ourselves. So what we agreed is that we all put our forces into France and do the World War I tactic, where everything goes down in Belgium and we just fight them here. If we manage to push them through, the war starts in Germany itself. We have a wide front. Anything can happen, obviously. We're gonna field around 1,200,000 troops, and this should be just enough for us. Now these transfers needs to go back, and my troops need to go here and get ready. More Rangers can be produced. On this very narrow front, I do believe that we would get enough resources, because Paris is close, and Paris here is the main resource provider. But what do I do? First, I'm gonna send most of my HQ units to Paris. This is a stage where I'm currently in control of most of the troops here, and they will move out of Paris, but for now, while everything is very well under control, we can just go there with our staff troops and just have really good accommodation. Now, it's much better to just live in some kind of a hotel rather than a family house outside of Paris, right? You know what I mean? They were soldiers, they were not living there, so they had to live together with local families or whatnot, you know, houses that nobody lives in. And if you go to Paris, well, in a city where millions live, you're definitely going to find something. And here I'm going to give my troops commanders. I would like to see tank divisions commanded by generals with an ability to command tank divisions, actually, because I think that's the way it must be done. I'm gonna just check if there are any armor commanders. How it's called? It's called Battle Master, actually. I wasn't really kind of aware. Combined arms plus 10%. Battle Master. That's interesting. Trickster. Logistics Wizard. Defensive. Okay, as you can see, that's a Battle Master, but that's a General of the Third Army, so that's fine. Any more Battle Masters? Patton is the commander here. Not that many. But here, as you can see, we will need some of these guys to join with the generals. I'll leave the Battle Master units for the upcoming tank divisions. That won't do us any harm. Just going to give us more. In here, that's a corps commander. You can go with Richardson then. More generals will show up with the years ahead. Every year we'll get a new pool of generals provided to us by somebody. I'm not even sure if they had Pentagon there at that time. I would say Pentagon. Okay, we don't have many battle tank commanders, but we definitely have enough. And we only build tanks so far. As you can see, this tank commander is on default with Battle Master. 2 tank brigades, that is a lot. These tanks are old, but with time they will get better. They will get a lot better, and things will change, and they'll be awesome. Okay, and you just need to join any corps. Jump the boat. And that's it. The other thing I need to do is I need to give all this land to Pacific Theater for now. Eventually I'll locate some troops there. That's it. These islands are doomed, actually, because the Japanese will take them. I'll commission some troops here just so the Japanese wouldn't come after us, you know. Not that I think they would. Alright. We'll be producing even more now. And in a few months we'll have more transports, which will be needed eventually. We'll want to have as many troops as quickly as possible where we want them, right? Okay. Now I'll have to transfer these guys. Let's see how many divisions will fit inside of all those transports. I would guess something like 30. I did notice that there was a lack of one general there. Let me see. Right there. Okay. We're going in. Very nicely. I wanted to keep something like 5 division per province. We may, possibly, would be able to start a war right now, but everybody, absolutely everybody, would be so much better off if we wait just a little. As you can see, more and more troops are pouring in. They have Denmark. They have Denmark and Poland. So that makes them pretty tough. I just realized that I need to prioritize my tank regiments to receive upgrades and reinforcements, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. These are the only tank divisions currently in Europe, and there's only 4 of them here, but that is enough to create a very small spearhead. Now these units currently have priority over upgrades and reinforcements. Okay. Liquid increase their efforts. I'm gonna do just that. Okay, I need to send the transports back to our base of operations. I'm going to increase the number of our spy networks so that we could increase our national unity. I'm going to create maybe 100 spy cells and spy networks. That will be more than enough to hold everybody at bay. They're storming our beaches here, as you can see. These are probably the Marines, and our 2 garrison units here are most likely incapable of defending themselves properly. We are not prioritizing upgrades on garrisons. It's not, but I'm sure, I kind of suspect that there are no garrison upgrades here. We'll go for mountain warfare equipment too, because there are some mountains in Europe that we may or may not face battles in, and everything else is perfectly and absolutely fine. We do look like we have everything. That we would otherwise need. Okay, now it's time to get the rest of the army. That will probably take another 2 or 3 trips to get troops to full speed. Some of them still need upgrades, but most of the army is ready. This is the 5th tank division here so far. And it looks like we're almost done. We have a full front line. It looks like we're the only ones manning this front. The French are almost non-existent here. But it's fine. It's 1940 now. Still, not everybody fits onto the ships, but at least 97% of all the troops that we field are currently in Europe. Alright. That's a New York HQ. If these guys need to fly all of the planes to Europe, that will take some time. I'll rename this to AndYouLeftTheGame because the war is soon to start. It's in terms of combat operations. I'm going to send all of my planes there first, or maybe I should send them just here actually. All this shifting around the map is a little too much, because I press on AndYouLeftTheGame, it gets me to Paris, and then I